Welcome back to Palangi 21. Today I will show you a 2022 American psychological drama film directed by Darren Aronofsky and written by Samuel D. Hunter, titled The Whale. It stars Brendan Fraser, Sadie Sink, Hong Chow, Ty Simpkins, and Samantha Morton. In the film, a reclusive English teacher tries to restore his relationship with his teenage daughter. Charlie is a reclusive English professor who teaches online college writing courses but keeps his webcam switched off, because he weighs almost 600 pounds and is ashamed of his weight. While masturbating, he begins to suffer intense chest pains. He begins trying to read an essay about Moby Dick, just as a missionary named Thomas, coming from the New Life Church, comes to try and preach the Word of God to him. Charlie asks Thomas to read him the essay because he wants it to be the last thing he hears before he dies. Charlie's nurse and only friend Liz comes over and orders Thomas to leave. Liz gets Charlie regulated and urges him to go to a hospital because he is at risk for congestive heart failure with high blood pressure, but he says he cannot since he does not have life insurance. Charlie frequently orders pizza, to which he and his delivery driver Dan follow a usual routine. Dan drops off the pizza and collects the cash payment in the mailbox without ever interacting with Charlie. Charlie hopes to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter Ellie, who resents him for leaving her and her mother Mary when she was 8 because he engaged in an affair with his student Alan. Ellie states that Mary doesn't know that she is visiting him. Ellie agrees, once Charlie offers her all his money and agrees to help rewrite her school essay, though she must also write in a notebook he provides. Thomas visits Charlie again, and he helps Charlie pick up a key to Alan's room that he dropped. Liz shows up, and she privately talks to Thomas outside. Liz states that her adoptive father was the pastor of New Life, and Alan was Charlie's partner and her brother. Overcome with guilt for being gay, Alan committed suicide by jumping off a bridge, which led to Charlie's binge eating and depression, as well as Liz's hatred for the church. Despite this, Thomas believes he is there to bring God into Charlie's life. Ellie continues making visits, but she coldly rebuffs Charlie's attempts to reconnect with her. When she says that Charlie could have made attempts to stay connected to her throughout her life, he says he tried and also tried to send her and Mary money. Charlie keeps trying to assure Ellie that she is an amazing person. Thomas visits Charlie again after Ellie has given Charlie a sandwich with crushed up Ambien to make him fall asleep. She smokes weed and gives some to Thomas while also making crude comments to deliberately make him uncomfortable. Thomas states that he used to have a problem smoking weed habitually. Ellie then brings up that New Life stopped having door-to-door missionaries, which forces Thomas to say that he left New Life a while ago, because he stole money and ran away from home. Ellie records the confession on her phone and also takes pictures of Thomas and Charlie. Thomas visits Charlie one last time, informing him that Ellie recorded his confession and sent it to his family in Iowa. Instead of reacting angrily, they have forgiven him and invited him to return home. Thomas sees this as a sign to try and convert Charlie, but he rejects the idea. He starts talking to Thomas about his relationship with Alan and the side effects of his obesity, which make Thomas uncomfortable enough to call Charlie disgusting. Charlie sends Thomas away. While Ellie is with Charlie, Liz brings Mary to the apartment after telling her that Ellie has been visiting. Ellie mentions that Charlie offered to pay her, and Liz says Charlie doesn't have money. As it turns out, Liz simply did not know that Charlie has been saving money for Ellie, and she is angry because he could have used the money to help himself and get medical attention. Ellie also berates Charlie and tells him to die. Charlie then talks to Mary, initially reminiscing about when they were still married and thinking about a memory where they were at the beach together with Ellie. Mary also tells Charlie that Ellie had always cared for him, then calling her a bad person for how she treats her classmates and other people, but Charlie disagrees and thinks that Ellie does care for people since she got Thomas to return to his family. Mary also tells him that she once encountered Alan and wanted to confront him over Charlie's affair with him, but she just helped him with groceries without letting him know who she was. As Mary leaves, Charlie tearfully admits he needs to know there is at least one thing he did right in his life. Charlie orders pizza again and goes outside to get it, where Dan sees him for the first time and appears to react with surprise and disgust. This leads to Charlie experiencing a binge-eating episode before he vomits. He then sends an email to his students, telling them to disregard the writing assignments and write something honest. Charlie gives one last lecture as he tells the students he is being replaced for what he told them. He reads some of their honest entries, telling them that their thoughts matter more than the course itself. He then turns the webcam on to show himself to the students before he throws the laptop against the fridge. Feeling guilty for abandoning him, Liz comforts Charlie as he nears death. Ellie comes back to confront him over his rewritten essay. Charlie reveals that he replaced her rewritten essay with a critical essay of Moby Dick that she wrote in 8th grade as he considered it the most honest essay he's ever read. Ellie tearfully rebukes Charlie as he attempts to reconcile one final time. He asks her to read the essay to him. Ellie reluctantly reads the essay as Charlie stands up and attempts to walk toward her, something he had tried but failed to do during Ellie's first visit. Ellie tearfully reads the essay as Charlie comes closer to her. As Ellie finishes, Charlie begins to float as he and Ellie are engulfed in a bright white light. The final shot is a memory of him with Ellie and Mary at the beach. This is a beautiful story about redemption, loss, and trauma. It tells about a middle-aged man named Charlie with an extremely destructive eating addiction caused by grief and regret, and the complete lack of self-worth. He feels sad after losing his boyfriend, which led to Charlie's binge eating and depression. He is dying, and he hopes to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter Ellie, who resents him for leaving her and her mother. The title of the film refers to novel Moby Dick, which plays an important part in the narrative. This film also alludes to the theme of homosexuality as opposed to religion. I haven't seen Brendan Fraser on screen in a long time, and his acting blew me away, and I give him the biggest compliments. I can feel every emotion that he brings in the film. Sadie Sink, who plays Ellie, also deserves appreciation. Their chemistry is perfect as father and daughter. The cinematography is great and the dialogue is stunning. The touching ending is perfect for this phenomenal film. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification.